business, but also
Grab a
helps
notebook.
many
Grab a
women
notebook.
around her business.
You're gonna need it.
She's the director of the USC Multicultural Entrepreneur Leadership Program. She's my dear friend. She's a boss mom. She's an amazing wife and also gives to many. Let's give it up for Carla Sandoval, all the way from California. Take it away, Carla.
All right. Okay. Well, first and foremost, thank you, Jerry. And yes, that is the beauty of working from home. I can totally relate, so type mom if you're a mom and you can relate, right? Especially during these times we're working from home or like you're homeschooling your children. I just want to say, if you're a mom, I salute you, because the reality is we do it all. Okay, and this is why we are on here. So first of all, I'm going to introduce myself in a minute. I just want to first say congratulations. If you've been on here since day one, I want you to type a 3 on the chat. Okay, I want you to type a 3 on the chat if you've been here day 1, day 2, and you're now here day 3, because the reality is, and all of us do this, okay, and that is that we start something, but we don't always finish it, right? So here we are, day 3 of 4. So you got one more, and wait until you see what we've got for you tomorrow. So, yes, my name is Carla Sandoval. I am married. I have a son. He is 3.5 months. And I am also an entrepreneur, and I'm also a friend, a daughter, and all the wonderful stuff that all of us moms are. And I'm going to tell you guys my story in a little bit. But the first thing I want to do is I want to take a moment to really thank both Jessicas. Type a heart or any type of emoji. How did you feel the last 2 days? I got to tell you, for me, I felt nothing but well, I'll tell you my word in a minute, okay? But type an emoji. How did you feel these last 2 days? These two women not only poured into us, but I just want to say that they really, really, really showed us. Well, I'll tell you, my word is resilience. When I think of the last 2 days, I think of two women that went through so much, two women that literally life kind of hit them a little bit, okay? They fell and they got back up and they kept going. So for me, the last 2 days showed two women that were completely resilient. Not only that, okay, but there were both of these women really showed us what's possible, okay? And this is going to be my topic today, how they turned their story and everything that happened to them, all their crucibles, how they turned those into their passion, into their purpose, and I'm just going to say this, into money. Okay? One of the things that we're going to talk about this today is what are our limiting beliefs around money. Okay. But, I just want to say congratulations to both of the Jessicas, because the reality is, and by the way, you guys, I'm going to be looking down. I took time to really prepare for this call. I got to tell you, not only am I excited, but I'm a little nervous. Okay. And that's okay. Okay. It's okay to be vulnerable. And I'm a little nervous because there's so much I want to share with you. There's so much that I've gotten these last 2 days that I started thinking what could I contribute to every single one of you that is going to not only inspire and make us feel great about ourselves, but my main intention today is I am going to give you actionable steps on how to turn your crucible, aka your story, your trauma, your hardships, how to turn those into your power. So if you're ready, type ready on the chat. By the way, you will need a pen. You will need something to write with, because I am going to give you my formula of how I turn my life around. So just really briefly to tell you a little bit about me, I'm originally from Uruapan, Michoacan, Mexico. And we came to this country, my parents, and all of us, in a van of 13 of us, okay? 13 of us came seeking the American dream. And what ended up happening was that, I went from in Mexico having my own room with Hello Kitty and all that beautiful stuff to all of a sudden living in a apartment with my grandparents, 13 of us, okay, on the floor. And when you're young, you're slumber party, right? It was fun. But from there, we started, my parents did what they needed to do to make sure that we got ahead in life. I will say this humbly. Okay, I've always been very dedicated to school. I'm a little like a nerd. Okay, so you're gonna hear me say homework for those of you who don't like homework, whatever you want to call it. Okay, but I'm a little bit of a nerd. Okay, and so I always was like in all these classes. And so one of the things that I realized when I was hearing both Jessica's yesterday, and I want you to think about this for yourself, that who were you as a child? Who were you as a little girl? Like, who were you? Were you that girl that felt like nothing was impossible? That woman little girl that wanted to conquer everything? That was definitely me. Okay, I've had no limitations. I think most children don't really, unless an adult tells us we can't. I started selling all kinds of things. For those of you guys who are old enough like me, you remember we had puff paint shirts. I would paint puff paint. I would make puff paint shirts and I would sell them to all my neighbors, okay? I even one day was at a gas station around the corner from my house and I saw this guy in the corner in the gas station selling flowers. He had like a whole stand there. And I asked him can I help you sell flowers? And he was looking at me. I was like in elementary school. Okay, I think it was in 5th grade to be exact. And he was like, you want to help me sell flowers? I was like, yes. And he's like, okay. So I remember after like day 2, he left me alone. And he goes, okay, every bundle is $9.99. So he counted them and he said, I need X amount when I get back. So I started trying to sell them. And nobody would buy them, okay? And so I got creative. And I remember thinking like, nobody wants to give me $10, but they'll give me 2. So I started pulling the flowers apart and making little flowers of $2. And I would go to the cars and I would be like, and I figured it out. I would only go to cars that had couples. And I would go to the guy and I wouldn't say, would you like to buy some flowers? I would say, do you want to buy your girlfriend some flowers? It's only $2. And I started selling them, right? When the guy got back, he goes, oh, you're all gone. I'm like, yes. I gave him exactly what I needed to give him. He gave me whatever he gave me. But guess what? I made a little extra, right? So I want you to think about, as you were a child, how creative were you? What were the dreams that you had? Okay. Jessica on day 1 talked to us about creating that 100 goal list. I really hope you did that. Okay, so I share that with you because as I started growing up, okay, and I went off to college, I graduated, and all of a sudden, I got a job for 3 whole months. And I was like, this sucks, right? I didn't like it. I didn't like the fact that I was, I'm here, I'm leaving. What else can I do? It wasn't my cup of tea. So for me, the environment that I was in wasn't empowering. So I'm going to ask you, what is it that, whatever it is that you're doing right now, think about the environment. Is it serving your goal? Is it serving your purpose? And so anyway, long story short, I ended up quitting that job and I started my own business at the age of 23. And that is where my story began. So the first thing I want you to write down on your notes is this, okay? My story is not my life. I want you to write that down. Yes, your story is part of your life, but your story does not define who you are completely. It is part of it. Yesterday, Jerry said something so important. She said, if you believe, you can pivot. Today, we're going to talk about that. So I started my own business and, I had no limitations, nothing. And one of the things that Bella said yesterday, which write this down, okay, if you didn't catch it, is what chapter are you on in your life? What chapter are you on in your life? Are you in your life? At that time, my chapter was, I was unstoppable. I was determined. I was just like a boss lady, right? And I was moving and shaking with my business. And then all of a sudden, I dated a man, okay, who we had a lot of fun with. I was laughing yesterday when Bella was talking because as she was talking about how much fun she had with this guy, I'm like, I had one of those. That wasn't the best relationship to be in. But at the time, here's what I want you to write down. You will attract who you are. And at that moment, I was not in the best space. I didn't feel good about, I felt good about myself when it came to my business, but I was like, oh my God, I'm all alone. Like, I don't have a boyfriend. I started feeling sorry for myself. And, at that moment, I met a gentleman and, we started going out. We started having a lot of fun. And what ended up happening was he had no idea what I was doing. He had his job and I had my business. So I was hustling. I was doing what I was doing. And then all of a sudden, you guys, things started to pick up. And I started to, my business started to be on a roll. And I was working like crazy. And that is when everything started to test me. So here's what I want you to know. Sometimes when you are at your peak, sometimes things will test you. And that's when I got tested. So I was rolling with my business, as you heard, my business ended up doing $1 million in 13 months. And I remember I was really excited. And this particular gentleman kept saying things to me you're not normal. You're not a normal girlfriend. And he would say all kinds of things. And just like Bella said yesterday, all those things started to affect my self-esteem, started to affect how I viewed myself, started to question if what I was doing was the right thing. So the first thing I want you to ask yourself, if you didn't do this yesterday, I'm kind of recapping a little bit with what the girl said yesterday, the last 2 days, and that is, what toxic relationship or what toxic anything do you have around you? Because the reality is your surroundings dramatically affect you. So, he started saying all kinds of things. And sure enough, soon enough, my business was going like this and it started to go like this. And I remember thinking is this even worth it? Because one of the things I want you to write down is don't lower your standards. Write that down. I must not lower my standards. You see, what ends up happening was because I was going to all these trainings, I was doing the deal, myself, my business, everything was on a high, but who I was around was not matching that. So either people come up to where you're at, or eventually you'll come down to where they're at. And that's exactly what happened to me. That's exactly what happened to me. I ended up coming down to where he was. Slowly, I started to destroy my business. Slowly, I started to push people away. Slowly, I started to isolate myself. Slowly, I started to not look good. I remember I would go to the meetings with a ponytail, wouldn't even do my hair, wouldn't do my makeup. I was cuachalota. I don't know how you say that in English, but I let myself go. And I was stuck there for 5 years. From being at a high to going shopping and buying whatever I wanted to having to ask my friends for money to pay my rent. From having no limitations with finances to having to ask, to having to actually have to go and eat only macaroni and cheese. My life turned like this, up and then right back down because I didn't change. And I love what Bella said yesterday, okay? And that is that so many times we blame others for what is happening to us. And here's one thing I want you to I want you to write this down, okay? And that is that just like I asked you, what chapter are you on in your life right now? And the past does not have to be what your future holds. How you've lived your life, how you were raised, the things that have happened to you does not have to be how the future is. Because Jerry in the chat typed something so important, and that is, she typed, if you believe, you can pivot your life. And I was stuck in that dark space for 5 years. So I don't know where you are right now, but I will tell you one thing. I don't know you, but I know you. If you're here, it's because you're the type of woman that wants more. You're the type of woman that says, this can't be it. You're the type of woman that's for example, right? I graduated from college and I went to go live back with my parents' house. Okay. I've always been a very independent person. And I was like, I cannot be living at my parents' house. I need to get out of here. Okay. And so I'm going to give you the formula of what I did, not only to take my business to $1 million a year, but also how after 5 years of being in a dark space, of letting myself go, gaining a ton of weight, losing all my friends, being in a really bad depression, in a bad state, how did I get myself out of that? So if you're ready to learn how to do that, type I'm ready on the chat. So I'm just going to say this is my personal formula. This is what I did to get myself out of that dark space. And this has been the formula that I have done every single time I want to change my life. This is my winning formula and I want to share it with you. This might be yours, okay? But if not, take whatever you can and go with it. Because the reality is, you guys, all of us have a winning formula. And the assignment, the worksheet that's in the chat assigned to this class is going to walk you through how to find your winning formula. But I'm going to share with you mine, and I hope this serves you. So here's the thing. How are we going to start to write the new chapters in our life? How are we going to start to write our new chapter of December 2020? Don't wait till 2021. So many people are like, I can't wait till this year is over. Don't do that. I can't wait till January 1st. Don't do that. Your year starts now. Your new year starts today. And wait until you hear what we got for you tomorrow. Okay? So here I'm going to share with you guys my winning formula. Okay? Number 1. Okay? I call them my 4 Ds. Okay? My 3 Ds. Number 1 is desire, decision, determination, and discipline. Desire, decision, determination, and discipline. Anytime I've wanted to take that moment, a lot has happened this year, guys, ladies, a lot. And I don't know where you're at. Your life, I'm sure, was tested this year. I'm going to be honest. My relationship with my husband was dramatically tested this year. My relationship with my family has been dramatically tested this year. But more importantly, my relationship with myself has dramatically been tested this year. So if you're in that space, like, you know what? Something's got to change. I'm ready. I'm not going to wait for 2021. I'm not going to wait for the perfect job. I'm not going to wait for anyone, like Jessica said, to come and save me. I am my own hero. I am the woman. I am empowered. Think about the word empowerment. The power is within. So how are you going to pull that power out? Number 1, you got to have a desire. It's got to come to the moment where you're like, enough. That's it. I need a change. Okay? Number 1, you got to have that desire. But you can't just wish for it. I wish I was 6'2". Well, I really don't. But there was a time in my life I wish I was taller. Okay? I embrace my 5'1", okay? But sometimes I was like, man, I wish I was a little taller. Okay? Number 1, can't just wish for it. Number 1, but you got to start with that desire. Number 2, you have to make that decision. Like, draw that line, a line on the sand. Like, this is it. No more. This is it. I'm going to start working out. This is it. I'm going to value myself. This is it. Number 2, decision. Number 3, you must be determined. Because let me tell you something, you will be tested. I don't want to get religious, but whoever you believe in, I believe in God, okay? So I feel like he kind of looks and goes, let's see if you really want that, chaparrita. Let's see if you really want that, Carla. And I'm going to tell you guys something. Every time I've wanted to quit anything, my body, my marriage, I think the only thing I've never wanted to quit was like on being a mom, okay? But anything I've ever wanted to quit, success was literally around the corner. But I had to be determined, like, this is it. Like, this is really what I want. And I have the decision. I have the desire. I just got to stick with it. And number 4 is we must have discipline. Discipline to do the work. Discipline to drink the water, to go work out, to drink your supplements, to tell your family I love you, to, whatever it is. We must have the discipline. So that's number 1. Every time I've ever had dramatic results in my life, those 4 D's were in play. Now, number 2. Okay, number 1 was those 4. Number 2, a community. Who is your winning team? I want you to write this down. Nothing worth having, nothing great worth having is ever created alone. Nothing. I challenge you to give me one thing in life that has been great and that somebody's done alone. You can't. You might say, oh, an artist. Somebody made the pens. You can't. So my question to you is, who is your community? Who do you surround yourself with? If you listen to both Jessica's stories, one of the things that dramatically changed their life, that pivoted, like Jerry said, their life, was that they started to surround themselves with other women, with women that empowered them. Wait until you hear what we got for you tomorrow. With women that empowered them, with women that said, you could do it. You deserve more. Okay? What did Jessica Bella say yesterday? I wish I would have had Jerry around my life back then. But then she said something very important. She said, but I don't know if I would have listened. I don't know if I was ready to have that kind of friend around. My question to you is, who is around you? Are they the type of people? Now, don't go crazy and be like, I'm not going to be friends with them anymore. Look, I've got friends that I can only hang out with them for a little bit. I have a friend that I love him so much, but he is, no offense, okay? No, don't judge me. But he's my friend that I want to go and hang out with to have like dumb talk. Okay, he makes me laugh, but I can only do that one day. That's it, right? But I love him. I love him for who he is. I don't judge him, and he doesn't judge me. Like, he doesn't necessarily love what I do. I'm like a boss person. He's like, girl, you work too much. Okay? So who is around you? Well, that's his opinion, right? So guys, because I have big goals, and I'm going to talk to you about that right in a second. So who is your community? Who is on your winning team? I'm telling you something, and I'm going to go there. Okay, pay attention. Listen very carefully to what I'm going to tell you, okay? Don't go crazy with this. But right now, the holidays are around the corner. You're going to be around a lot of your friends and your family. Love them for who they are. Zero judgment, you guys. Don't judge people. Let them be who they are, because you want them to let you be who you are, okay? But I want you to, as you're there for dinner and stuff, I want you to, if you're the type of person that's always talking, I want you for like 5 minutes, just be quiet and just listen. Listen to their conversations. Listen to their philosophies. Listen to how they think. Listen to how they live. And I want you to ask yourself, don't get crazy. You still need to love them. You got to love them from where they're at. But I want you to ask yourself, are they the type of people that are going to take me to have the kind of life that I want to have? Zero judgment. Okay? But ask yourself, are they the type of people that are going to take me are they going to guide me? Can they help me? Can they coach me? Can they inspire me? Will they motivate me? Will they, to have the life that I want? And if the answer is yes, like, you are a very fortunate person. I have a friend, I'm going to tell you her. I don't know if she's on here, but her name is Sochi. I love her to pieces. I did a bikini competition once. And if you've never done those, they're ridiculous. And you can, no sugar, no salt, like stuff like that, just crazy diet. And I got ready for the bikini competition in 3 months. So I had to be extra strict. And I would be with her and I'm like, so chill, I'm so hungry. Now, she didn't say, well, here, have a chip. Come on, Carla, a chip's not going to kill you. You know what she would say? Traga agua. She would say, drink water. I'm like, I'm so hungry. Drink water. No, Carla, no. It's not time for you to eat. She's always been part of my winning team. So and if you don't have a winning team, that's okay. We are your winning team. These last 3 days have been part of your winning team. So number 2, you need a powerful community. You need a community of people that are going to show you how to have more, that are going to show you what is possible. Okay? And then last, number 3, okay? And that is, you've got to have a plan. And that's what I call your winning formula. Okay? You got to have a plan. What is your plan? If you want to lose 10 pounds, what's the plan? If you want to make more money, what's the plan? If you want to have a better relationship with your spouse, what's the plan? How are we going to do that? Okay? So number 1, you need to have the 4 Ds. Desire, decision, determination, and discipline. Number 2, you got to surround yourself with a powerful community. Who is your winning team? Who's on your team? Okay? And if you don't have one, we are it. You can find somebody in this chat, I am sure, that is just like you, that wants to see you win. And number 3, we must have a plan. What is your plan? What is your winning formula? The worksheet that I have created for you is going to walk you through that. Okay? So these are the 3 things that my formula every time I wanted to pivot my life. So I want to wrap this call up shortly here, and I just want to ask you, okay, what is it that you want out of your life? I know Jessica asked you to do a list of 100 goals. Did you do them? And if you didn't, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Go back into the group and download it and do it. Okay? Then yesterday, Jessica asked, who is your hero? And what are the characteristics that he or she has? Okay? Because the reality is, those are the characteristics that you admire, most likely that you desire. So if you haven't done those 2 worksheets, I'm going to ask you to please go back and do them. And as you're doing them, the worksheet today is going to walk you through how to find your true north, how to find that person that is always inside of you. What is that formula that always has you win? I just shared you mine. Because here's the thing, guys. The objective of these 4 days, at least for me, is to wake that woman inside of you. To wake her up. Regardless of how much you've accomplished. I don't care. And I'm talking to Jessica Gutierrez, Jessica Bella, myself, Jerry Gutierrez. I'm talking to all the powerful women that you're, including you. Whatever you've accomplished, I want you to know that I know that you got more inside of you. I know that you can do more. And I know that you deep inside, you know that you and your family deserve more. But here's the thing, and I'm just going to go there, okay? I hope it doesn't make you feel uncomfortable. But the reality is, if you're not surrounding yourself with people that tell you it's okay, sometimes because of our limiting beliefs, we'll lower our standards. Because regardless, I bet you that 100 list is going to require 2 things. 2 things. Time and money. It's going to require, if you say, well, Carla, no, I want to have quality time with my significant other. Great. It's going to require time. And if you want to go out to a nice dinner, it's going to require money. No, I cook at home. You're going to need to buy food. But I think a lot of us women, we feel sometimes guilty for wanting, desiring to have more. But let me tell you something. I want you to write this down. Money makes you more of who you already are. Okay? Money makes you more of who you already are. What if, guys? To me, I'm going to tell you something, okay? To me, an empowered woman, to me, this is my own personal philosophy, is somebody who owns her power. Who owns her power. What power, Carla? Her power of decision. Her emotional power. Because let me tell you something. To have that emotional intelligence is key. To have that mental power of desiring and figuring things out. And sometimes I think that a lot of people overlook this, is to have the financial power. The power to be able to say, you know what? I want to put my son through a private school. We've got the money to do that. There is nothing wrong with that. Money makes you more of what you already are. So, in conclusion, I want you to start thinking about, what do you desire? What do you want? What do you aspire in your life? And I want you to think about this formula. Number one, what do you desire? And start making those decisions. Number two, who are you going to surround yourself with? Okay, I invite you to surround yourself. Don't X out your friends and your family and all that, unless they're toxic, okay? But, love them for who they are a little bit, right? But surround yourself with people that say, you can have more, you deserve more. I got to tell you, I feel so blessed to be around these three powerful women, Jessica, and Jerry, because they elevate my game. They make me be look, for those of you guys who don't know me, I can wing anything. I prepared. I read a book yesterday and I was I told my husband, I got to really deliver because I got to elevate to their standards. So number two, who's your community? Who's your winning formula? And last but not least, what is your winning formula? What is the plan? You want to have an amazing life? I want you to have an amazing life. I want you to accomplish the 100 list goal. I want you to check them all off. But for that, we need time, ladies, and we need money. And I'm going to tell you, I'll be the first one to say, you can have it all. Maybe not all at the same time. You can have it all, and you should never, ever, ever, ever apologize for wanting to be more. Because without getting religious, I do feel that there is a purpose for you to be in this world. My question is, what is it? What's your purpose? What is your passion? And what if you can get paid for that? The world needs you. The world needs your story. Remember, you are not your story, but your story has made who you are. And that's okay. Because those past chapters do not have to determine the future chapters. As they say, you are the author of your own book. And tomorrow, we're going to hear from a lady who I don't even know what to say about her. It makes me emotional to, I have to introduce her. But tomorrow, you guys, is our last day. You can still invite someone. If you have found this to be valuable, I'm just going to say something. Share it with the world. Invite a friend. Say, you got to be around these women. They can go back and see that, the other recordings and be you got to hear these women's story. And on day 3, how do we pivot that to bring out that power that you have inside of you? And tomorrow, you're going to hear from a woman who, because of her story, she decided to pivot. And because of that, she has impacted not hundreds, but thousands of women's lives, including mine. She started at a very young age, and just like many of us, had that entrepreneur bug and was I want to own my own fate. I want to own my own bank account. I want to own my life, and I want to make a difference. And because of that, she has created a very successful business, helping thousands and thousands of women around the world bring out their inner power, right? And tomorrow, not only is she going to share her story and bring it, but she also has a lot of surprises for you guys. So I got to tell you, I'm so excited for tomorrow. Make sure you log on right at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, okay? And invite another friend. It is not too late. And I'm going to challenge you in closing. If you haven't done the worksheets, do it. How you do one thing, you do everything. Don't cut yourself short. not this year. Don't end this year like this. Okay? So go back, do the 100, go back and do the 3 worksheets, okay, that are there for you to serve you, to prepare you for what's going to be there for tomorrow. So with that said, you guys, I just want to say it has been an honor and a pleasure to be here with you. I hope that what I shared with you supports you in starting to make that decision like, I want more. I deserve more, and I'm going to go get more. So thank you so much for your time. We will see you tomorrow, and bye-bye.